Welcome everybody to the End of the World podcast. I got my guest Fatal V from the band Aware. He's a lead vocalist, rhythm guitarist, and songwriter. So this guy do a little bit of everything. How you doing, bro?
Yes, sir.
Nice to have you here, bro. Just chilling, bro. On Friday.
Friday.
You guys got that thing tomorrow?
Yeah, we got the St. Patrick's Day show coming up tomorrow, and it's gonna be pretty busy. We're not even worried about promotion on this one because I'll be busy there almost every fucking year.
Exactly, I'll be there, bro. I already told Seth I'll be there because I've been wanting to watch. I seen you guys once last year at the Mostock.
Yeah.
But I was there kind of like the second half of your guys' performances, but I was from far away because you guys were doing your last song and you guys kind of finished like damn. So I seen another band after that, but like damn, I wish I'd seen their whole set.
Yeah.
But I told Seth like, hey, I'm gonna see you guys. He's like, oh yeah, bro, come to watch the St. Patty's thing. I'm like, yeah, I'll be there, bro. Cause I've been wanting to watch you guys and shit. Cause I'm a fan of yours, bro. Like, I told Seth, like, not gonna lie, I'm not just doing this cause you guys are local. Like, I actually like your guys' music. I'm a rock head. I love rock music, so that's something that we can bond with. And plus I appreciate you guys' music too, cause I just kind of have like a little bit of all those elements, like classic rock, hard rock.
Yeah.
So it has some like metal in it. Like, it's a little bit of like kind of like appreciation to all this rock,
Yeah.
So yeah, man. So like, tell me about like how you started with this music thing. Like, was it from the kids? I'm like, just tell me about that.
Music. So, I was I think, looking back, I think I was like 5-6 years old, and the only musician I knew of in my time was my grandfather, and he was a mariachi. And I don't know if it was Mariachi Los Bandidos or if it was something else, but he was known. I guess he was like locally famous as the Mexican Johnny Cash, where he only wore black with the black shades. And as he's singing, in one hand he would have a shot glass which was filled to the brim with either bourbon, whiskey, or tequila.
Yeah.
And in the other hand he had a fat cigar.
Jeez.
And he's singing into the microphone.
That's badass.
I just remember going to a family gathering and I see him playing, and he starts playing the accordion.
Yeah.
And he got a 12-string guitar and started doing the requintos. A lot of Hispanics know of Ariel Camacho and stuff like that. Like, playing stuff like that, but like 70s style music in that way. And he just really kind of inspired me in a way. Because I never seen anybody, I never seen at that point instruments being played in front of me. Mm-hmm. And we didn't grow up poor per se. We just grew up like struggling. Like in that time it was like 2000 and probably like 2000 post 9/11, like 2001, 2002. And during that time shit was like tough. I'm not sure if you've ever had any guests that actually talk on that topic of what life is like afterwards, if I remember
I was just like a couple months old during 9/11, bro. I was like, my parents though, they were scared as shit.
That was a terrifying point, because after that a lot of the school I went to was elementary school, so a lot of security started happening more, and that's when the cities started taking away electives from schools because they needed to fund other things. And once I got into middle school, I found a band teacher. I think his name is Mr. Fair. Rest in peace. I know he's probably long gone. He was really old, but really inspirational, to where he knew the only thing I wanted to do was play guitar. Yeah. He wanted to teach us the recorder, the flute, the saxophone. Yeah. Which I picked up the saxophone a little bit. That was really fun. Yeah.
It's always like those instruments that people start in school. Like, it's always like the saxophone, flute.
No, the minute he taught me the piano, that's I think at 6 years old I learned Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata, which is probably one of my favorite pieces that he has. Oh, shit. And I started thinking, if I could do this on piano and there's just strings inside of the piano, what if I could play this on a guitar? I just have to learn that. So I dedicated myself to play guitar, and it's crazy because I remember about a week after making that dedication, my grandfather passed away. And my mom comes into the room, and I think I'm playing SpongeBob SquarePants, the little bikini bottom one, on PlayStation 2, and she says, she's with tears in her eyes, you have to put your shoes on, we have to go see Grandpa. And we went there, and I didn't realize, because I was just playing with all the kids, but then I get called in, and they give me a case with a black guitar in it. I think it was a black Yamaha acoustic guitar. And I got pissed at my dad because I took it home, and he thought, oh, this is how you tune it, and he broke the high E string. Oh, And I remember yelling at him like, "No, you don't touch that! Don't touch my stuff! That's my stuff! My grandpa gave it to me."
Yeah.
And I didn't know shit of Mexican music. I didn't know how to play this guitar. I didn't even know how to hold it well. I was holding it the other way, like lefty way. Yeah. And I just started watching videos. My mom showed me how to watch videos, and then before I knew it, I just started looking and matching. And to this day, I've never had like a
so
legit guitar lesson. I just watched, and since that day, my brain started developing like a sixth sense to watch and to learn. And
that's crazy that you you learn from videos, of course, but it's kind of like self-taught because it's kind of like, you're just like going on your own pace, and shit.
I learned, I think it's Un Rinconcito en el Cielo from Ramon Ayala.
Yeah, that's a banger, dude.
Yeah, that's the OG one, and that one in Tragos Amargos, the main one. Like the minute that any Hispanic hears that, straight to the bottle. Like
time, bro. Pull out the bottle. You know what I'm saying?
And I just watched it, and I played it on guitar, and my mom and dad were blown away because they've never seen that.
Yeah.
And they swore that his spirit left my grandfather, and somehow started inspiring me because my grandfather was the only person in the family that knew how to pick up on it and just do it.
Was he the only musical family member too, or
from what I know, yeah.
Okay, so
and then there was other cousins in the family that are all passed away now. There's a video that my mom watches that is home footage recorded in like an old camcorder, but it's all the family members. Yeah. And I catch her crying watching it, and then I'm like, "Mom, what's wrong?" One day I asked her like, "Why are you crying watching this? Like, this is your family, right?" And she's like, "I'm the only one alive out of everybody who's seen the video."
Damn.
And I'm like, "But that's a lot of people. That's half the family. Like, the other half of the family, they don't live here. They don't care about us anymore. They don't care about this side of the family." Yeah. And I'm like,
damn.
What kept everybody together? And he's like, your grandpa's music. Yeah. And then I'm like, damn, that's crazy.
Especially through like an art form, like music, like how that could keep people, like together, united, Yeah. So it's kind of cool that it kept you united, like pretty much kept like, even though he's gone, like you still got that connection because he played music, then you played music, kind of like right off the bat when he passed, you picked it up, So it's kind of like, that I don't say it's a DNA thing, but I feel like it's a musical connection, that your grandpa gave to you, But that's cool, man. That you did that, and after that, like, when did this rock start? Like, was it? Because it kind of sounds like you started with like, like what they teach you at school, like or like you said, Beethoven, and then a little bit classical, a little bit of Mexican music, and then. But how did this rock like? How did it get to like in your circle?
My favorite guitar hero of all time, dude. I listened to, mind you, my mother's from Texas, so I was hearing a mixture of Mexican music, Tejano, like, hey baby, ¿qué pasó? But I found Carlos Santana. And the minute I heard his guitar playing on While My Guitar Weeps or on Black Magic Woman, on Casanova, or even I think it's the Blue Butterfly disc, not Supernatural. I don't remember. I own the record. I just don't know the name. But I was like, I want to play like that because I want my guitar to scream. And I told my parents I want an electric guitar, and every Hispanic family looked at me and they said, "No, no queremos ese ruido en la casa."
Too loud or what?
Yeah, like I would just have it turned up to 1, and they're gonna be like, "No, turn it down."
What's up with Hispanic families feeling that way? I relay as in like I love rock music, and I just feel like parents or like grandparents, they're just like, nah, it's too loud or está muy fuerte, Like any rock music, unless it's like gentle rock or like some like light rock, super light rock, they like it, But they're always like, I feel like they're really like, like nah. Even though it's funny because I feel like rock music, like I feel like some of these rock legends are like, could be their parents to a lot of these Hispanic, or it could be their age, like they're like in their 70s, like the great ones, in their 70s, 80s, 60s, and or 50s, and I feel like they're kind of like your guys' age or even older, and I feel like they kind of look at it like, it's for like young people. It always like connects to the youth, even though they're like older. Like Ozzy, like he's like 76, and my mom's 50, and she's like, I like him, but it's like too much, like because she doesn't do metal. It's just one of those. But it's just funny. But it's funny that they kind of look at it like, it's Los Jóvenes, young people. That's like, but even though like, Mom, like, this guy could be your dad, and it's just. it's just weird. Like, what do you think about that? Like, you know, like, why is that? Like, why do Hispanic people or family, especially the older ones, like, kind of do that with rock music?
I think they just don't understand it.
I think
like
so.
More cultural based. Like, we write music that talks about love and beauty and the ways of the world. Most of the time in Mexican music, you hear the themes of like heartbreak, but it's always like love for a woman. It's always love for God, or it's love for.
A lot of romanticas. They're big on ballads over there, like Mexican ballads.
That's why, like, the same people I think that frown on rock music will frown on corridos. Like, esos narco corridos. You don't want to listen to that.
That's true. Stuff. That's the same people that do say the same thing about, you know, narco corridos or norteños or anything like that. They're like, oh, it's like too. Like,
but then they're also blasting Biggie on the radio, and they're like, what? Like,
yeah, exactly.
That's just American corridos. Like, what are you talking about?
I see other countries like in Europe, obviously, like many countries there, like even old or young, they like rock music. They're a little bit more open-minded about it.
Yeah.
You know, I think because rock was like born supposedly or from, you know, the UK and stuff like that. So I don't know. I feel like they kind of appreciate it over there. But I feel like this, and even other countries in South America, like Argentina, they're big rock heads over there. You could go there or Brazil, and you could be like, yo, you could rock out. But I feel like Mexico's kind of like, it's kind of like different, you know?
Well, I feel like I kind of started learning about the 80s era, and it's not that far away from I was born in 94, so that's not that far off from where I was at. And I think Seth was telling me that during the 80s was the British invasion. Mm-hmm. So I think once different countries started visiting each other with rock music, that mentality slowly started changing, but they didn't get the memo just yet. Like, all the traditional families had already closed their windows and doors to the whole concept. Yeah. So, like, they're not going to care if anything changes. So that's why you get the traditionalists that are like, have you guys looked outside and seen the way of the world lately? Yeah. No. No internet. No phone. Exactly. No music.
Yeah. And plus, like, the rock music changed a lot from back then, too. Like, I know, like, from 60s to 70s to 80s, it was, like, a whole different rock. Like, it was, like evolving really quick, you know, from the 60s with the Beatles, and you got Black Sabbath. Like, the beginning of the 70s is crazy. Like, dude, the Beatles and Rolling Stones took the 60s, and boom, you know, a whole different, like, type of music.
See, that was different, because in my end, like, because I found Santana, and I'm like, man, I want to do rock music. Yeah. So I started following, I think Santana took me, where did Santana take me? I think I found grunge music from Santana, so I'm not sure if I heard Smells Like Teen Spirit or it was something else. It probably was Smooth, and then that led me to discovering like bands like Creed and Nirvana, and eventually I found grunge, where I found 3 Days Grace, and I found Skillet, and I found Breaking Benjamin, and in my time, like now going into high school, I'm like, I'm feeling everything they're saying. Yeah. And it's like these adults are talking about kids right now, so I'm just going to lean this way. Yeah. And then the trippy era was when I was in that emo rock stage. Mm-hmm. I discovered Daft Punk. And when I discovered Daft Punk, everything changed. Yeah. Because then I was listening to Skrillex and Deadmau5 and Marshmello and that segue into Daft Punk is what introduced me to heavier metal. Yeah. Like, I learned about Whitechapel and Chelsea Grin, Slipknot, and then I think the oldest metal band that I ever listened to was Korn. Yeah. Because I didn't, for whatever reason, I was so naive. I skipped that whole junction of the 80s. Yeah. And I refused to listen to it because I just thought it was cliche.
That was like 80s rock was like...
Because I saw the hair and I saw the dress up style and I thought, man, what is the stupidest thing I ever said to myself? Seth is going to watch this and quote me on it later. Yeah. What is so important about this? Yeah. Why do I need to care about this? Yeah. And that was the dumbest, most naive thought I have ever thought in my life. Because I kept pushing myself, like I said, I was adapting. So everything that those rock bands that I listened to at the time, everything they were doing, I was doing. Yeah. People were learning how to record at home. Yeah. So on my computer, or my dad's computer, I downloaded Audacity and started fucking around with testing voices and how to do all that. Yeah. And I think up until 2015, I had a fuck ton, a whole plethora of music that was complete garbage. Complete garbage.
There's demos.
So I pulled it all from the internet. Yeah. There's, I think, one little thing that our drummer has that he fucks with me every now and then. Yeah. And then there's 2 files of songs that I'm hoping to rewrite and re-release in the future that are on my phone, safe and sound. Yeah. Unless if somebody tries to pull that GTA Dr. Dre project or some shit like that. But,
yeah.
For the most part, they're safe.
Yeah, but how'd you start? You played the instrument first before you started singing? Like,
yeah.
Okay. How long did you, like, when did you notice, like, or were you just singing, like, in the shower and, like, oh, it's not bad? Like, how that came, like, in, you know?
I heard people singing in the song, so I'm like, well, I want to do that too. For whatever reason, my brain was like, I just want to entertain and do that. Yeah.
But did you think, like, you were like, oh, I'm confident? You're like, I'm just going to do it.
I didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
Yeah.
I was just going, just like pushing voice out, thinking that if I just opened my mouth and made sound, it was going to do it.
Yeah.
And it was a very long process because, like I said, I was playing the piano at that time. So I would pick a note and just keep going up until my voice would crack. Then I would go down until my voice would crack.
Yeah.
From there to here was what I can do.
Yeah.
So if I can make a melody and copy that melody, so it would be like dun 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 dun. I would do that over and over and match the note as I did it, and that would teach me note control. That would teach me pattern, melody.
Yeah.
And then I think that old. I think it's Turn Up the Music. It's like an old funky like like I started playing that and seeing if I can do that with my voice at the same time as I played it. And when I did it, I was like, I think I can do this.
Yeah.
I just gotta write a song now.
Yeah. And who was when did people start telling like, oh yeah, you can sing, you know? What built your confidence? Like when was that? After that, you know,
when I thought that I could really do it and just start trying, I was still a kid. Mm-hmm. So Christmas time was coming around. I started hearing all this Christmas songs, and there was one that was Jingle Bell Rock.
Yeah, it was a banger.
And I remember one day at Home Depot or something, waiting in line, and I saw a lady pull out the intercom and call somebody on the radio. Mm-hmm. So I went over there and I just said, "Can you push the button?" And she did, and I just started singing on the intercom over the song, and just did it. And then the people in the line started cheering, and that's like a core memory in my head. Yeah. Like as a kid, I'm just like,
especially when they're cheering.
I got reassurance from random strangers, and I just did a thing that I thought was scary. So let's do it.
Yeah,
let's do it. And then I learned guitar and singing at the same time while I was just growing up. And when I got into high school, I was playing and singing these songs. I couldn't hit many of the notes because these guys sing crazy, man. But I was playing them. Yeah. And I got heavily into like good live music because at Pittman High School, there's the Black Box Theater. I think it's a C building or something like that on the first corner of the school. And there's these metalheads that used to hang out outside, and they used to have their guitars, and they used to blast a bunch of music and shit like that. And they saw me just hanging out by myself, just doing nothing. So they invited me over. And they introduced me to an amazing band now called Metallica.
Oh, shit.
And I watched...
Pittman, right? Okay.
Yeah, and I watched these guys play Enter Sandman on guitar. Mm-hmm. And I asked them, what makes your guitar sound like that? Yeah. Because I had an acoustic. Yeah. So I've been trying to make these... The way I made electronic sounds happen on recording software is I just turned the volume on the acoustic guitar all the way up.
Yeah.
Then I blasted it on there.
Yeah.
And I mixed that track because it was all
okay.
distorted.
Yeah,
Then I put that track back in Audacity as a separate audio, and I just turned down the volume so it was sustainable, and then I would record everything else on top of that.
Yeah.
So I learned distortion by naturally distorting the audio.
The acoustic,
Yeah.
That's another skill though. Like you learn something there.
He told me, he's like, it's the amp. You plug it in here, just a little switch. So he let me try it. It was like an old ass fucking 222 amp that you get at Target.
Yeah.
And it sounded like complete garbage, but my brain was like having fun with it.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like,
I'm
I'm like,
whoa,
I'm doing it.
I'm a rockero now, you know?
No, yeah, and that's when I was just like,
I like this.
Metallica.
Yeah.
Where are these guys? And they're like, they're the most popular band of like the 90s and going in, and they're like, they're metal. They're the godfathers of heavy metal. Yeah. And they're like next. I heard Ozzy Osbourne's name thrown out for the first time. I still didn't know who the fuck he was yet. Yeah. Not yet. And
then that heavy metal came, like, it was like a whole new thing. It's like a whole new candy.
I was listening to newer heavy metal, so like I was into Slipknot and stuff like that. So I didn't really go past
the pre.
I didn't stay with Metallica. I just knew about Metallica. I knew about Enter Sandman. I knew about For Whom the Bell Tolls and the other one, the one that was on Stranger Things.
Master of Puppets.
Yes,
I was gonna say it too about that.
I was like the one that was on Stranger Things.
Yeah, Master of Puppets. Yeah.
But I hear them repeated off and on because they started playing them in school. But I was a grunge head. I was the fucking emo kid, the My Chemical Romance, the Sleeping with Sirens kid, the Paramore kid.
Yeah. They're like, here you go, it's a whole new dish.
But during high school, once I started experiencing the things that I was listening to from these bands, that was when I started telling myself that I could write music. Yeah. And I think it was in a high school where, like, you know how high school relationships last a week?
Yeah, no, trust me. I know.
So that happened. And I remember writing my first chorus, and that's what built my formula for writing songs to this day is I want the meat to be written first, the big juicy part, the part that is the hook that gets in your head.
Right.
And if it sticks, and if it's something catchy, then we'll use that vibe and make a build-up, which is the verses, make a big fight, which is the bridge, and then give them everything all at once, and that's the end. Yeah. And that's been the key. If you listen to almost every single one of our songs, that's how they are. Yeah. It's a little bit of a build-up. The verses will always be what builds up to the hook. The hook will always remain the bulkiness and will always get bigger over time than if we have a bridge. Yeah. It's either going to be different than what the song sounds like, a crazy guitar solo, or a verse that just ties in the story together. And then towards the end of the song, it's just a big explosion of colors.
Yeah. So after your first song, you were like, oh, I could write, I could write too. Especially like knowing that some of your rock legends write their own stuff too. Like, especially like each band has like whether one or two writers, like the main ones, And I feel like how did that inspire you, like to write too? Or was it more like just personal,
I thought all these bands wrote their own songs, and most of them do. Yeah. Most of them do. And then most of them don't. Like, some of them ask somebody else to write them while the band just makes the music. And in my head, I'm like, well, I want to do both. I just want to do it all. Why would I let somebody else do something when I can do it myself?
Yeah, because plus it's best of both worlds. You can do covers and, because it's like, everybody loves doing covers, especially like banger ass songs. But then you write originals too that, it's original. Like, I feel like that's like yours. Nobody could take that away from you, Especially like you crafted it, like you said, you wrote it, and like it's yours, like it's yours. That must be a great feeling,
Nothing can take that away.
Exactly. So after that, like when you start like writing songs, like pretty much you wrote all your songs at that point.
Yeah, I started trying to write all the things. Started trying to write riffs, but at that moment, I didn't know what riffs were, so I just was playing chords. Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
What's it called when you do what's it called when you put it near the mic so you could hear it?
ASMR.
ASMR. I was gonna say DIY. What the fuck?
DIY ASMR.
Do it yourself ASMR / But
This is the ASMR portion of the podcast.
Yeah, this is I should have done it. Click, but no.
You can just do the thing.
I know. You're like, I don't know why you do that. Are you into that?
No.
I was about to say like.
I had a buddy a long ass time ago, and he has one of his kids, and dude, he roasted the shit out of him. He's like, he came up to me. He's like, bro, my son's a famous YouTuber, man. Yeah. Like, just because I did that, most of the people that know me are gonna know who I'm talking about. Yeah. They're like, dude, my son's a famous YouTuber, dude. He does ASMR. Look at. He likes to lick the cat. Shit. And then he's just like, watch, dude. He has a video that's going viral where he's giving you a fake haircut. Stevie, you want a haircut? And I'm like, what the fuck?
So he's like, in front
and then
of
he's
you?
Basically just like, I swear to God, he goes,
POV.
Hey, how you doing today? The usual? All right. He has scissors. Like right at the camera. And I'm like, no offense to anybody that does ASMR. I mean, if you guys are making money off of it, he's definitely not. But somebody is.
The only time I watched ASMR was I was fasting. I was doing some fasting for like a couple of days. I'll be doing shit like that once in a while. Like, I need a cleanse. I'll do like a 72-hour fasting. Like, straight up no food. I have water, but no food. It's weird. Don't even ask me why. But I just did something to like a cleanse, you know? It's like, and then one time I was so hungry, dude. Like, it was like the 4th day, and it was like the first time I did this long fasting. Now I'm kind of used to it, but the first time especially, I put ASMR of people like eating and like, you know, when they open the wrappers and they're eating, you know? I was watching it, dude. That's the only time I've seen ASMR because I was so hungry, dude. I put like a person trying all like different types of McDonald's and stuff. And I'm like, oh, I'm like, dude, I'm hungry. That's the only time I've seen
That's
that.
That's one of the craziest things. Like, fuck, I lived through so much.
Yeah.
We were just talking about 9/11, but during the COVID era, dude, I was watching a fuck ton of Good Mythical Morning, where these guys go to like different burger places and they blindfold themselves and they try their basic cheeseburgers and try to figure out which one came from which.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I told Seth, man, one day we're just gonna do that. We're just gonna go all around, just get 2 McDonald's burgers, 2 Jack in the Box, 2 Wendy's, 2 everything, and then just blindfold up and just see if we could tell where it came from with just one bite.
Would you get that down? Like,
no.
I feel like
I'd be too busy eating it. I'd be like, another one.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like I'll get all of them.
I'd get McDonald's off like from the bat because it's the only one that has a smooth bun.
Yeah, it is. That's true. Yeah, man. But yeah, I mean, going back to the songwriting, I was asking, like, how did you, like, you're the songwriter of the band, right? You and I know some people write here and there, right? Like, or how's the band, like?
Should I go into the origination of it to get,
yeah, we can.
I'll go into that after. But for the songwriting, it started out as me. Now we're in the phase that we're in now. Everybody's doing something, and it took. How do I put this in a way that doesn't make me look like a dick?
It's not, bro.
I'm a dick, all right, but I'm a nice one.
Yeah, nice one.
I was just so full of pride because I thought if I'm making it and if I have control of something, it's gonna be successful. Mm-hmm. But that's a nice way of thinking, but it's a little very toxic way of thinking because it eliminates the possibility of seeing different perspectives.
Yeah.
And if you're only thinking, because I keep looking at this little red post right here, if you keep thinking in just red, right? Yeah. And I keep looking at that post, unless that post and that color red is exposed to blue and yellow and green and all these other different colors, it'll never see any of those colors ever again. Yeah. And it's not so much because, like, you guys off camera can't see this, so, like, imagine just a singular post concreted and now use that as yourself. If you feel like you're concreted in something, like at that point I was so concrete in the fact that I can do this. Mm-hmm. It's not more so of where I was at. It's the atmosphere of what was being put around me that started changing my mentality. Like life started changing, people started changing, forgiveness started happening. I was gone through so many phases where I was like a youth leader at one point at a church, and I got to see that walk to life. Yeah. And then I was myself followed in my grandfather's footsteps as a requintero in a Mexican group. Yeah. So like doing what I loved doing and having to take a step back from songwriting and being the performer started equipping me for, I think, where I'm at now, because I'm more matured enough to have extra opinions. The Goldfield, we just debuted Seth's song, Bitter, and that was a big step. He'll never hear me admit it to his face, so I'm just going to admit it right here. But it was a big deal on my end, because that was when he first showed me the riff, my brain wanted to reject it. I personally did not want to reject it, but for whatever reason, that pride in here, that fucked up pride in here said,
we all have it.
Said, you could write this, but you can do it, and you should just remake it, and then just show him, dude, I got what you did, and look at what I got.
Yeah, he's my version.
And at one point, I think I remember getting so far as to wanting to make that blueprint, and I hit delete the minute I was going to hit save, because I thought, what if I just give it a chance?
Yeah.
So I asked him, can you send me the blueprint? Can you send me your lyrics? Can you send me your structure? And he thinks that I was asking for that so that way I could learn it, but I was trying to study it.
Yeah.
Because now that my brain was open to seeing all these aspects, I'm like, so how do you think? Let me see your structure. Yeah. And he was doing all of this shit on GarageBand on his phone. So in my head, I'm expecting like timing issues, consistency issues. And here I am being blown away because my pride is being stabbed to death because there's somebody else that is that passionate to make that art. And he's on my team. So there's not like a, I'm taking this from you.
Right.
It's I'm contributing to you.
Yeah.
And he started telling me that in those parts of the song, there's little parts that he picked up from my songwriting.
Yeah. Which
immediately to me was like, so if I just take a step back and I shut the fuck up and I shut this voice up in here for 1 minute, you mean to tell me I can inspire as well?
Yeah. It's kind of like your own musical tree if you think about it, you know?
This band has no idea the things it's taught me. And I'll get into it later about like the phases that a band goes through. But for right now, we debuted that song, and when I learned it and we played it for the first time, Seth's face when I got to practice and I had it down on guitar and he just needed to be like, just that one part is a little bit slow, speed it up, but you got it. He was in shock because we were kind of all going through a phase, and everybody goes through that. Everybody will go through a phase to where they think they're not enough. It doesn't matter if it's your job, your work, your family. I said job and work. Your job, your home, your family, your friends, your relationships, even watching the TV, what you're watching isn't good enough. Yeah. What you're scrolling through isn't good enough. Your profile doesn't look good enough. Your hair doesn't look good enough. So there was a point in time in our band where we just started feeling like that. All of us. We all felt underappreciated. We all felt like what we were going to make was never going to see the light of day. And I'm not saying that I felt it more than anybody, but I know that there was a collection of music that I was putting in a shelf to collect dust because I wanted something else to prosper. And that to me was very maturing because if I'm able to put myself on hold, I'm able to breathe. And we did this song, and when we debuted it at the Goldfield, it was phenomenal. And I'm learning now that everybody's ideas are fucking fantastic. It just takes, what makes the idea happen is the faith that you put into it to make it sound good. Like when you interviewed Seth, he said, I'm a very charismatic and courageous frontman. I'm cocky as fuck. Okay, he wants to be nice about it. Like I'll say it because I know I'm cocky as fuck because I was raised with a plot twist in my family line to where a lot of my raising parties weren't truthful. So like I was adopted for nobody that pieced that together. But Seth tells me, asks like where I learn a lot of these things in life of how I function in life, and I explain like I kind of taught myself, which is why if I take my own creations extra seriously because if I fail, that's not on anybody else. Nobody else taught me that but me. It's on me. If I succeed, it's on me. When I lose, it's on me. When I win, it's on me. When I give, it's on me. When I don't and I retain, it's on me. And I think that mentality really fucked me up in a way, because if you feel like you're always surviving, you're never going to live. And like I mentioned with this band, not knowing what they've done, like being in this band gave me moments to where I can live. And it keeps me on my toes, because in turn gives me moments to where I have to survive. Like, how do I keep this alive? And the songwriting now gives me windows. Like Julia is making a song right now, and I heard an instrumental of some of the things that she's making. And she's a huge Alice in Chains fan. She's like grunge to the T. And she's basically found that era of music during the same time I would have found that. So like that, instead of experimenting out, or from what I know of, I don't know what's the lengths of her musical knowledge, but I know that I personally have a dramatic jump when it goes from electric guitars to electric synthesizers back to heavy electric guitars. And that's not even that. There was my mom, every morning before I went to school, and this was from elementary school to high school, she was listening to 50s, 60s, 70s. But no, 80s. Nothing 80s. I was listening to Sam Cooke, the Beatles, the Eagles, the Mamas and the Papas, the Temptations, the Supremes. I was falling in love with these guys. B.B. King, oh my God. I was hearing just guitar, be like, The first time in my life, I was in high school and I heard a B.B. King song, and when my teacher played it, I did the thing, like the little stank face, and you just smell the fart, but you're like, and the teacher's like, you look like that's the first time you did that. And I'm like, is that okay? And he's like, no, you're feeling it. And then I'm like, feeling what? He's like, it. You just feel it. And I never knew what that fucking meant until I picked up a Stratocaster, and then Seth will attest to this. The minute you play what you got a vibe to, that vibe just becomes amplified. So to segue that back into songwriting, to have a band play the things that I wrote that I knew was going to be something, that's ecstatic to me, because then I'm letting these people take control. And it's just new ground. It's scary. A lot of frontmen, you're going to probably talk to a lot of frontmen, and they will be too prideful to admit that their biggest fear is allowing everybody else the full security to have that same involvement. And it's not just a fear. It's not like it's a fear like, no, it's just a subconscious way of thinking, because the one thing in your head is don't fuck it up. But you're also like, you can't think that way because I care about this person. So then you're stuck in a little war where you're like, I'm just going to stay over here. But me, I'm like, no. I don't stay over here. Like, I may be scared, but I'm right there, because if you're going to fuck something up, I'm going to be right there with you, so we fuck this up. Because if we fuck this up, then we got to fix it. But if you fuck it up, you can just hide that shit. Like, it doesn't even exist. Like,
But so, like Seth said, too, in the podcast, he mentioned many times, like, you're, like, the quarterback of the team. Like, not just as a frontman, but as a band leader. Like, you're actually, like, an example of a leader when it comes to a band, Because he said, like, hey, like, you're always there. If one of them don't do right, you're pretty much like, hey, pretty much you teach them, too. He was telling me that, too. Like, kind of help them, you're there for them. But pretty much saying, like, you're, like, like he said, not to be cocky, but he called you a very confident leader. But he said he'd rather have that than a leader that's always second guessing or always like, well, what do you think? Or it's up to you. He kind of needs, like, pretty much saying that he appreciates that, you kind of like, hey, like, this is, pretty much you have, like, some structure, You kind of are the structure of the band, so, hey, that's good or no. Like, he pretty much saying, like, he prefers that than a band leader or, like, a frontman that's always like, I don't know, or, well, it's up to you. Like, saying that it's pretty good to have sometimes.
I like that. And sometimes, like, not to sound like Keanu Reeves, like, throwing wisdom in there or something like that. I personally think that a leader is just a mentality. It's just a word, like a title, like Sith or like Avenger. It's just a title. It's just a title that you get when you do good things that align with somebody else's benefit. I could say right now that I could start supporting every brand that makes LGBT flags, and then I will look like a saint and like a confident leader in the eyes of the LGBT.
Yeah.
I could go on record for small businesses and go, and if I had the millions to do it, just go in forefront every single liquidation service that prohibits these businesses from thriving and buy them out so these businesses can move in. That would be a big move. Like, everybody would look at that person as a leader. I think what determines the leader is what you do with your talents to make something happen, because people follow regardless. That's just a way of human mentality. Like, an invitation from me seeing your podcast led me here straight to you, you know, like, it's just the way things are in the world.
Right.
But I feel like I tell this to Seth all the time, is I'm a very selfish person. Very, very selfish. I want it all. I want it all to myself. I want it all. If anybody else has got it and it's not my name, I'm going to put my name on there. I tell them, like, if there's somebody that wants that's going in the same path, and they're in these venues that I want to be in, but they're lazy and I can take them on, I'm gonna take them on. Like, the benefit and what separates me from people that are assholes about it is, if I've got food in my vault, I've got plates as well. I've got silverware, and I've got mentalities, and I've got structures that when I collect, you're eating. And as long as you're eating, as long as you allow me to conquer, you're going to live. And I will never conquer without the acceptance of what everybody's going to do. It's basically like, I'm not trying to say that this was strategically what happened, but let's say, for example, like, there's a venue that we play at, and we're like, there's this band that plays here. They're the same band that plays every weekend. Every weekend. Everybody knows their stuff. They're not bringing anybody else on. They're not inviting anybody else to make the show a different thing. And it's a bar show. It could be taken. What is Stevie going to do? Or what did Stevie do? I pretended to be a promoter, and I messaged this bar, and I told them the next hot commodity is rolling through Modesto, and it's your opportunity to take it now. And this bar still books us for money till this day. And I went to go talk, and I shifted the communications from another gentleman that I knew at the time to a girl named Serena, which is now in contact with our manager, and they keep that relationship strong. But it's more so the fact that, like, I believe that life is precious. I believe, since this is the only one we get, or theoretically, science has it that this is the only one we get. If you're not going to put the effort to live the dreams that you want, someone else is. Like, if, like, that beer, if that was the only beer in the refrigerator, right? And if you didn't choose to get that beer, and somebody else opened that fridge and said, "Man, I want a beer today," guess what you're not drinking?
Not that.
Because that somebody else took the opportunity. If you have the opportunity to play, let's say, the Goldfield, I'm looking at the camera, and you're not doing everything that it takes to get there, and to try to message these people, and to do the community things that need to be done, if you're not out there doing the networking, then Stevie's going to come in, and he's going to set up his little flag, and I'm here. Like, it's not me trying to be an asshole, and it's not even me saying it's business. It's just, I have a dream, and I'm wanting to live it. And these guys have dreams too, and they're, now I've dragged them on into my little train, and I can't waste their time. And if I do, then I'm the asshole for wasting somebody else's time. So, like, I think what Seth really praises about the confidence is that, like, he knows that I will never go out of my way to fuck somebody over, because that's never good for anybody. But I will go out of my way to harness opportunities that are up in the air, because if I see it up for grabs, it's up for grabs. If it doesn't have anybody else's name on it, it's up for grabs. And I think nowadays, there was a thing, and this is no shade to any bands. I remember Seth was talking about there was a phase where one of their bands did a no gigging but a writing phase.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to do something like that,
Mm-hmm.
except when I'm not gigging, somebody else is. And by the time I have my music to release, where's the crowd going to be at those gigs?
Yeah.
And I guess this kind of will segue into the recruiting process of the band is I had Out of Control written. And I had...
banger song, by the way.
Thank you.
I just gotta tell you that, bro. I love that.
Me and Jagger wrote that in the parking lot at Queen Bean, and I just found the TikTok that had that. And what I didn't get posted was I was just going live on Instagram, and we were just chatting, because I was going through a really fucked up time during that stage.
Yeah.
And I would go to the Queen Bean a lot. I used to host the Queen Bean as my open mic host, which... was beautiful and hell and a half, but the times are different then. You know, there was just so many things going on.
Mm-hmm.
And when COVID happened, there was a lot of anger towards the way that I handled a lot of the things that were happening.
Yeah.
And what people don't understand is when it came to the Queen Bean, I was the only one that had the say, but not the only one that had the doing opportunities. And the other people that were involved were doing without my say. And they were setting regulations that weren't allowing artists to be themselves. They were setting regulations that weren't allowing artists to do what they wanted to do. And that wasn't me. And me, because I wasn't as outspoken as I am now, I stayed quiet.
Yeah.
When COVID happened, there was so many things about I was trying to destroy and drag me down through the mud, which is almost hilarious now because that did not stop me at all.
Right.
And that was before COVID. And once COVID happened and I started experiencing life experiences that happened through then, my skin started getting very tough. And I started listening to more hardcore bands. Not hardcore bands, I guess. More punk style bands. I was listening to a lot of Ramones. I was listening to a lot of Rise Against and Paramore. But one thing about Rise Against was they came out with an album called the Nowhere Generation album. Yeah. During COVID, during the midst of the BLM protests and stuff like that. Yeah. And I took that as the opportunity to learn. If I'm going to try to make a band again, if I'm going to go back out and do music, I'm going to see the world for what it is now. And I suited up and I went out to these protests. I know there was one in Modesto that we walked from downtown theater all the way to Target in McHenry and walked all the way back. And there was so much that I saw. Yeah. But now my eyes started opening up to what's happening in the world. The Capitol got broken into. People here started hating on each other. Businesses were closing down because everybody was getting sick. There was people out there that knew they were sick and were getting people sick. There was other people out there that didn't want to choose to believe. And, I'm not saying one or the other, but all I'm saying is the way that the world is now, there's a lot of things to question, Yeah. That's a story for another day. That's a talk for another day.
Very divided right now.
And that's why music was so important. Aware came from... I don't think I've ever told this story. This is why I chose your podcast, man.
I'm honored, bro.
I'm a huge fan of In Decline. In Decline was an organization that uses art and art installations to make political statements. And they were responsible for when Trump was first running for presidency. They set up statues of naked Trump all across the United States with a tiny little wee-wee, like I see. And there were statues all over the United States, almost one in every state, and these people set them up. There's an artist a tag artist that goes by the name Aware, that passed away due to cancer, I believe, and left behind a son. but his art installations, there's one in California that goes up and down, and it was on a train, and it's one that says "We will prosper," and it has Aware with his logo, which is a gas mask, and an A on the head, like Captain America. And I started looking more into who Aware was, the fact that his son was practically orphaned, and a member that was extra close to him, that was part of the organization of In Decline, helped foster this kid into a very loving family, that now this kid is living his best life. And I thought, like, everybody should have an Aware. Whoever he is, like, rest his soul, that everybody should have somebody that, regardless of where they are in life, there's somebody that's standing up for them, regardless of what they think, what they look like, where they're from, what walk of life they're in. Everybody should have that Aware, that person that stands up for them and sends that message when they can't. And we started it like that. I put a post. I was making ideas, and at this time, the only people that were coordinating events were people that I just didn't like, because they chose to think the worst, and they chose to not support. But I thought, and this is probably what started the mentality of the dog eat dog, what if they're not going to give me the opportunity, I'm going to make them. So I put out that I was looking for a band, and immediately Jagger's dad actually responded. And me and Jagger had been in bands a lot before. We were in My Shining Ember with Troy Franey. We did a couple of other shows here and there. When we did My Shining Ember, that's when I knew that if I had him, it's going to go somewhere, because My Shining Ember was a half-assed project. And it went. Like, it went. Dude, we went for almost a good year. And I was like, the fuck? What the fuck is this? So the minute I saw him say yes, I was like, oh, fuck. It's on. Because Jagger is one of the best drummers out in the area. If I had him, like, I was like, dude, if he's in, everybody's gonna fucking eat it right now. Everybody's gonna fucking suck it, dude. And then I'm like, okay, so I need guitar. I can play guitar. I just need bass. And at that time, I saw Haley. Haley does business that I know Seth was talking about. She owns Rocket Music Gear. And Haley Smith is her name. And she had good connections with Harvest Moon and different venues like that. So I invited her in. She said, yeah. We had another girl named Demi, and she was our original bassist. I know I was contemplating, Seth, about saying names, but I'm just going to say names, because then it's up to everybody else to do their own research. But she had very distinguishing views. I remember there was a point in time where if she wanted to leave the band, she could have just said so, but she did a thing where she said she was going to go to Rome, and she went to Rome and never came back.
She went to Rome?
She went to Rome and never came back, and then, like, when we found out that she said, I'm stranded out here, guys. I shit you not, this is exactly what happened. She sent us all a message. She's like, I'm stranded out here, guys, and I'm not able to come back, so I'm going to leave the band. And we found out that she came back, like, two weeks after she said she left. So then we were just, man, she's so fucking weird, you know, she just...
But why'd she do all that? That doesn't make sense.
She's
it's like me saying, I'm going to Mexico, I'm not coming back, like, okay.
She's had a history of being just out there. Okay. And she had creative differences with us. That in the form of, like, she was so sucked up in different local drama that, and people will attest, in Modesto, local drama is like gasoline to a wildfire. Is somebody can make up something stupid, something absolutely absurd, and people will run with it. And the fact that you've got that pack mentality out here, anybody's a fucking target. Anybody and everybody and their fucking mother. I had so many people, guys, how about this? How about that? How about we scrapped Demi, and for a while there it was just me, Jagger, Haley, and I met this other dude. I put out a thing for a bass, and there was a guy. I was hugely inspired by this dude locally, Josh Rosenblum. He's one of the coolest fucking guitarists I've ever seen live, and his bassist was really cool at funk. It reminded me of Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
His name was Raul.
Yeah.
So I asked him, like, hey, you want to be part of this rock group? He said, yeah, let's do it. And when we started, we did our first Porch Fest as that lineup. I think I still have that photo. And we were kind of killing it.
And what year was this again? 2020.
Shit, I think it's like 2022.
Okay.
And 2021 the band started. 2022 the band was in its second phase with the new with the different lineup.
Yeah.
And then after Modstock, after that Porch Fest gig, Haley quit the band that same afternoon. And like it's like they were I don't know the story between that. I just know that she was saying that she was going to focus on other things, which I honestly believe, because she's a business owner. She was saying that she's gotten she's received orders for straps and gear from like fucking John Mayer's crew and Taylor Swift's crew and shit like that. And we're like, what the fuck, dude?
Good for her, you know?
Crazy.
Yeah.
And for a while it was just me, Jagger, and Raul, and we were killing it. And this kind of segues to where Seth was at, because we were doing all these open mics. We went to Speakeasy. We went to Ralston's Goat. Ralston's Goat was our favorite, that little spot right there in downtown.
Yeah.
And those were the days. There was so many, any artist that you would want to think of, any style, you name it, it was there. Like, you would get some people going out there doing spoken words. It was this lady, Modesto fucking legend. If rest her soul. Like, if you see like the little iceberg of Modesto, this chick named Delanora. A lot of your viewers, or maybe you, have even seen or heard of her at one point in your year. You're just going down through Modesto and there's just this lady singing, sitting in the dock of the bay on her fucking bike.
I remember.
Or you're just sitting there in one part of Modesto and you hear sitting in the mud. Like, you just hear her singing on the other side of the fucking city. You're like, what the fuck, dude?
That's a Modesto legend right there. I know everybody, like, especially now they kind of bring her up. Like, oh,
she's just as big as that kid guitar guy. Just as big.
Yeah.
If not bigger, dude. God rest her soul, dude.
For real, man. Legend.
But, we did Ralston's Goat all the time, and this is crazy. This is now I'm looking back on it, this is where I actually met every single member minus Julia of my current lineup right now. But we kept doing Rage Against the Machine. We kept singing Killing in the Name of. We kept doing a lot of Red Hot Chili Pepper songs. Raul was a big fan of Red Hot Chili Peppers. They're really fun to play, really intricate to play.
Yeah.
We did one open mic, me and Raul, at the Universal Bar and Grill down in Los Angeles, which is my first time ever performing in Los Angeles. And I don't know if we did any other gigs just like that. Oh, I believe we did. No. The Blue Lagoon was after I got Seth. Oh, yeah. Things started taking off. Dude, when Seth joined the band, then things started taking off.
Yeah.
Because I went to an open mic and I just started seeing him play with a band with these guys named Crow, or I think the band was called Graves or some shit like that. He was just fucking around with guitar. And I thought, man, this dude gets into it. He doesn't just play the guitar, he fucking plays the guitar. Like, he masters that shit.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, okay, so I want to see what he's got. And I started talking to Raul and I was like, look, I want to find a lead guitarist because we need something to beef this up. And Raul was like, what about that Seth guy? I know this dude that's at the open mic. And I'm like, have I seen him? Have I talked to him? Because he says that he ran into me once at Guitar Center. I vaguely remember that because I just go to Guitar Center all the fucking time just to get strings or just to figure shit out.
Just in and out.
Guitar Center used to be where me and Jagger and shit used to practice. We used to practice there in those little booths in Guitar Center because we're like, ain't got nowhere else to go because shit. And
life and shit.
So then the practices were held in my garage, so I just told Raul, like, if you can get a hold of him and he wants to come out, Little did I know Seth will say yes to everything. So he's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I'll love to. Yeah. And I asked him if you can get a hold of him and he wants to come out, invite him, and just send him my address and we'll be practicing here. Yeah. And we did our own practice. He was engaged and he asked if he could play my guitar, and I was like, yeah, go for it. Just don't break any strings. Yeah. And I left that shit out there because Raul told me that he loves to play the guitar so much that he'll just play it. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm going to leave that shit out there on purpose and just see what he does. Yeah. And I'm just going to do it. Like, even Seth kind of started figuring out, he kind of started seeing all these pieces go together. Because I'm just like, I want to know how you perform when you're not being told what to do. Right. And that's the first thing. So when he said, can I play guitar? I was just like, perfect. Perfect. Here we go. I don't even need to fucking do shit. I just sat there. We had a couple of the friends that were there too. I just started sitting with them, just watching him. Yeah. He started getting into it, and they started playing Can't Stop. Mm-hmm. And he played the parts, but he was improvising very well. Very well. And he was structured, staying in that little box. Yeah. And I thought, this could go somewhere. Mm. So then I asked him, you know some of the songs, right? Raul, run through Out of Control. And he just started running through it. And Seth started kind of, I think, picking up, like, oh, shit, I think this might be an audition. And I went inside after hearing him play, and they kind of stopped for a little bit. Yeah. And I went inside, and I texted Raul, and I told him, I'm going to ask him to be a part of it because this dude's got what it takes. And he's like, okay, go for it. He might not say yes because he's in another band. Yeah. Man, sucks that we don't talk to Raul anymore because it would be cool for him to say this. But I told him, he'll be in my band, trust me. I just said, he'll be in my band, trust me. And I went back outside, and they were jamming, he was still fucking jamming. Like, he was playing guitar unlike anything I've ever heard. Because, mind you, still up until this point, I knew nothing about the 80s. Mm-hmm. So I just asked him, you got any other bands? And he's like, yeah, I'm in one. He's like, what are you guys doing? You guys playing any shows? Then he told me, we're actually not. We're in a writing phase. Yeah. Oh, man. He told me everything I needed to hear. I'm fucking with you. He told me everything. He's like, we're just in a writing phase. And I'm just like, okay, well, we're in a gigging phase. We're in a gigging phase. If you're in a learning phase, you're in a positioning phase. So can you want to be in this? And he was just like, I don't know, I got to think about it. And then I was just like, I told him, he said, you're obviously invested into it and you're having fun. You seem free. You're enjoying it. You're able to utilize your skills the way you want. What is there to think about? Yeah. And then he's like, all right. And then I was just like, look, we have a thing coming up. If you can learn these 2 songs, we have a thing in a week and a half back at Ralston's Go. And if you can learn this, you'll be on stage with us. If you learn these 2 originals, because you could just fuck around on the covers. I don't care if you learn the covers or not. Just learn the originals, and there's only 2 of them. Yeah. And he did. And he was up there. And I'm like, this is the lineup. Yeah. And then after that gig, I asked him, so? Yeah, man, this is fun, dude. Yeah, I'll do this again. I'll keep doing this. Hell yeah. He went for that big old dap up that he does. And then I was like, yeah, let's do it. We started involving ourselves with different bands. Mm-hmm. And I won't get into the falling out of it. Raul went to be an instrumentalist for a different band. He went on to go with Horizon Point, which are killing it. They're doing their own thing in their own respective right. Yeah. They probably think there's still hate there, but we're all in the same game. Right. My car's a little. You see my taillights. It's all. You see my taillights. But just when it came down to just being me, Seth, and Jagger, we were like this. This is a point where everything is kind of slowly coming together. Yeah. Now we see the powerhouses. And mind you, I remember I was saying I was heavily inspired by 3 Days Grace. Yeah. Adam had left the band at one point where he had like medical issues and stuff like that. And he left 3 Days Grace. And I was devastated. And then made a band called Saint Asonia, which was him, Mike Meshook from Stained, the bassist from Finger 11, like all these big guys. It was a super group.
Yeah.
So in my head, I'm like, I'm kind of making that right now.
Yeah.
I got one of the best, if not the best drummer in Modesto.
Yeah.
And ain't nobody out in fucking Modesto plays like this dude. Like, there's a couple. There was some dudes like Willie Holgate and a couple of the guys that jam on blues. But that's about it. It was like they were doing blues jams, you know, blues licks.
Yeah.
I wanted somebody that did that but switched that into metal and rock. And he did. He knows how to do that because he was inspired by the 80s, you know?
Yeah.
And we ran with that. And along the way, we met a band called Sundust, which was comprised of the couple Brielle and Dylan, which is our singer now.
Yeah.
And Jared, and I'm trying to remember the other guy. His name always... So sorry. I'm so sorry. But we started jamming with them, and I swear to God, like, if this band wasn't like Paramore, Evanescence put into one, like, I just started seeing the fusion, and in my head, I'm like, this is the only other band that sounds like me, and that sounds like what I want.
Yeah.
So I remember seeing them at an open mic, and I knew Dylan for a little bit, and me and Dylan kind of got into small talk. I guess Dylan knew Seth, because Seth knows everybody.
Seth does know everybody.
Seth does know everybody.
Everybody I know,
I'll take his ass to fucking... One day we're going to go end up in Romania or some shit like that, and we'll be like, oh, look at Seth!
Do the big dad.
That wasn't Romanian. That was not Romanian. But I started talking to Dylan, and Dylan asked if he could play drums while we do Killing in the Name.
Yeah.
And Seth did the guitar, and I did the bass. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, let's do it. We played it, and it sounded fucking legit.
Yeah.
And for a long time, for a while there, it was just me, Jagger, and Seth.
The trio.
Just doing it, no bass.
Yeah.
We did a few cool shows when Raul was still in the group, like at the Blue Lagoon next to the Catalyst Club in Santa Cruz, and then we did not a music in the plaza. It was a plaza show where like Breaking Benjamin played the main plaza, not the open plaza, but like the convention hall.
Yeah.
And we did one with Sundust there that was fucking amazing. And when it was just a trio, we were like, man, we gotta think of something. And Dylan had offered, like, hey, I know this chick that she does bass. She was in VMI, but she's really good. She's kind of shy, but she'll open up, and she's got really good potential. And zero hesitation, I asked her, Not only did I ask her, dude, because Raul was in the point of transitioning out. Except we were still wanting to record. Yeah. So I kind of made the dick move that I told him he was out by asking her to come in and record. Mm-hmm. So I said, no, not only are you in the band, but like you got 3 days to learn this song because you're going into studio and recording it. Yeah. And then we did it, and she did it. She pulled it off. And we re-released Out of Control with her, and we had Simple. And when we were learning Simple, I was like, I had the idea because I'm like, man, how am I going to set myself apart? Mm-hmm. And that same night I had that thought, I see Dylan and Brielle walking right up to Ralston's Goat. And I'm like, huh. Uh-huh. So I go sit next to them and I ask them like, hey, so how's Sundust going? And they're like, oh, it's slow right now. Like, we're not really doing much. We're getting ready for an acoustic thing. Yeah. I asked, would you be interested, Brielle, in singing a song with me and recording one? And she's like, yeah, what do you have in mind? And I'm like, I would like for you to do the second verse and the second chorus to Simple. Mm-hmm. And if we could record it like this, I would love to feature you. Yeah. And they're like, okay, yeah, cool. So when we released it, and Dylan said, Sundust is kind of being slow, so I want to offer you guys a gig that is probably the biggest thing you'll ever have. Do you guys want to open for Babylon AD at the Whiskey A Go Go? Mm-hmm. And then Seth and Jagger lost their fucking minds. I didn't know anything because, mind you, they didn't tell me shit. Okay. Yeah. And then we said yes, the Whiskey A Go Go. Woo, yay! And then they started telling me, and then this is when I started learning about the 80s. Mm. I still make this joke. I'm like, you guys didn't think this was information you should have told me at the fucking beginning. Yeah. Like, this isn't like something you wait towards when we got the gig for you telling. Yeah. You mean there's gonna be people in cages up there? Like, what the fuck? And it was phenomenal. And we definitely started seeing Brielle's inspiration level because she wanted to get more involved. And I was like, okay, this might be the start of something here, so let's see what I can cook up. Yeah. And the whiskey shows up, and we're on. Yeah. Like, we're ready for it. Yeah. There's no way that we couldn't have been any more, like, excited. So when we showed up, we did the show, and we killed that. Yeah. We killed it, and it sounded so good. Like, I went to the back, and I told Don, I'm going to ask Brielle to be a part of the group. And he says, are you sure? Why do you want to do that? He's like, because Sundust isn't doing any gigs right now. Yeah. And a lot of people follow her voice because she's the strongest female voice in rock in the entire area. Now, what if I took that? Yeah. Now, what if that was standing right next to me doing the shows with me? Who are they going to follow? Yeah. Us. Yeah. And then he's like, do you really think it's going to work? And I'm like, I'm crazy enough to do it. And then he's like, ask her. And then I'm like, bet. And then I went, Brielle, come over here real quick. Let me talk to you in the green room. And I'm like, did you have fun up there? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, you did a really good job, right? And she's like, yeah, I did. I'm like, do you see yourself playing that song with us again? And she's like, yeah, I really do. It's fun. I'm like, I'd like to invite you to be a part of the group. And you can sing that song and a lot more. And possibly even make more songs for the future so that way we could have something big. She's like, no, yeah, I'd love to. Yes. And I went back in and I told everybody she's in. Yeah. And now we have that lineup. That lineup hasn't changed since the first whiskey show. Yeah. Like, that was the first time we took the stage. And I don't think we even did any shows after that without her. I think every show after that first one, she was officially a part of it, and we started doing more shows together like that. We did so much. We just started taking shots. I don't even remember because everything just started moving fast from that point. Like, she joined, and we just took off. I'm trying to remember. I'm, like, zoning out. I don't remember, but everything's happening. We did the Slate in San Francisco. We did the Goldfield. We did the whiskey again. You guys went to the Boardwalk too, no? And the Boardwalk. We won the Battle of the Bands at the Boardwalk. The whiskey was cool because after we did the whiskey the first time, we went back to the whiskey 6 months after, and then after that we went 7 months after. Like, there was never a year that elapsed between our whiskey appearances. And and then how did you once she joined? How did you, like, start writing songs that incorporate her too? You know, because now you know, like, okay, there's more than one vocalist. Most of my songs were, like, written, so, like, I started incorporating what parts would go to her, how she would do the backup, writing new parts so that way it would add her in. And was that, like, something new for you, like writing for also a second person too? Yeah. Because I know before it would just be for you or you be singing in, but now you have another person in. Now you got to think, okay, I got to write something that matches me and it kind of matches her. Like, how does that come in with the songwriting? Like, how does that happen? It's difficult. Even to this day, I find myself saying, like, man, we got to figure out ways to have her actually have a part, because I took her out of a front person role to have her as a secondary, and that's not right. Like, I'm trying to incorporate her as a primary with me. Co-lead. But how do we do that? And I've never seen that in my eyes happen before. And now that I've gotten the knowledge that Seth told me about all these other bands, Seth was like, hey, you just move shit around, you just make it happen. And then I'm like, what? Sometimes he fucking tells me just to kiss the damn thing. Not like, but he talks about, like, the band Kiss, because each and every single one of them individually just somehow figure out a way to just make it happen. Yeah. And then I'm like, fuck, how do I do that here? And there's been times where we were trying to get through a lot of visuals, a lot of different venues, and Julia would knock them out. Which, by the way, I know Seth mentioned it, but Julia is the current reason why we look the way we do. She's the one behind all the merch, all the designs, all the imagery, everything that you see, the websites, the DistroKid. She's the visual eye of what the group. She's the identity. She's also a graphic designer, right? That's what she studies. So kind of that's like a big plus for you guys, because you have an actual person that in the team.
Yeah, in a team that does also the creative. Because usually someone that's out.
Somebody else is just paying somebody for these services.
But that's in the band. Like you said, that's an identity. Like you said, it's in the band. So that's cool that you guys have that. Same thing with Seth. Like I know he's big on film. He's a film guy. That's how I actually met him, through kind of like film and music. So I know he tells me, oh yeah, like editing and stuff like that. That's kind of cool. You guys boom have your own creative pieces right there with you guys. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Like that writing process became extremely difficult 100%, because when we started recording, we were kind of thrown into our recording process headfirst into the deep end of the pool. And that caused us to just kind of go at war with each other subliminally. And every band is going to go through those phases where they're just sick and tired of each other. And I mean, we're going through one right now. And it's just one of those things to where it needs to be a staple in your heart that you want to make the music happen. Because the music that I write comes from the heart and needs to go to the heart. And if there's doubt, it's not gonna land. And when we were recording, there was so much stress. There was so much like animosity that was just built up here and there, because we didn't know. We thought just recording. We were recording with a studio. I'm not sure the final dollar amount, but we went to a studio where just to walk through the front door, it's $300. That's not. That's before anything gets plugged in.
That's right.
And then, it'd be like an extra $500-$600 after you're done recording.
Yeah.
And an extra something hundred for the mixing and mastering. Which, granted, that's standard process for a lot of other things.
Yeah.
But like for a band that's just starting out, we were all like, man, we worked for so long to build a band budget to make this happen, but this is really taking a lot out of us.
Yeah. Especially the financial part.
Well, where we're at now is just the process that we're doing now is just so much more simpler. We just went in to record the Martyrs, which, before I get to the Martyrs, the first album is just very experimental. We loved working on it. We loved being a part of it. We loved putting in all the effort to it.
Yeah.
But all of us just have one of those thoughts where it's just not what we wanted. And we felt that the people that listen to us deserve better, deserve something that is more substantial. Because I like to think of myself doing this for people that listen to us, because if it's not for people like that go to shows, then what the fuck am I doing this for? I'm an entertainer. I can't entertain without there being an audience, and that audience puts me there and keeps me there. And when we listen to our album, I know everybody listens to our album, they like it, they have their ideas about it. Coming from the front man here, I love the stories that the album talks about. I love the direction the album went. But there's a lot associated with what happened going into the making of this album that I don't love, which has left a bad taste in my mouth from it. And nobody wants to ever look at it. You've ever got a picture taken of you during a fucked up time in your life, but every single time you look at that marvelous picture, you're going to see yourself and you're going to be like, man, but I was fucked up. You shouldn't ever have to think about that for something that you've put and you've built and constructed yourself.
Right.
And now all of the ideas that I've written and all the stories and all those pieces of me that were now put into the song, that's not coming out on the other side. And the reason why I don't like it is because I know what I was feeling writing these songs, and I'm not getting it because I don't believe it listening to them again. It just sounds like somebody wanted to record to get us the recording out there. Right. And that's not what my music is. And the songwriting process is definitely changing now, because when we did the Martyrs, this sounds like a completely new chapter. This is the first time that we will be going into many musical tangents to make the music the center. Yeah. And I think we've already had our little ego trip now. We've had our little roller coaster ride of trying to play front and center. Right? Yeah. It's time to get rid of that shit now.
And you guys already released some stuff already where it kind of gets it, out of the way, as in like you say, you kind of feel like you record is to record. You want to make something more meaningful. But at the same time, like, okay, you got that out of the way, you know, that phase where, like, I always want to put something out there, you know, sometimes discography out there, you know, for people. But now you guys, like you said, now you could go to that next level and make something. Okay, we did that first album, first EP. It was more experimental, it was, you know, to put something out there. Now the next, like, you know, you could make something. You guys can make something really what you want, what you guys want, you know, like, okay, this is next. Pretty much, this is the next step from the previous, you know.
Yeah, and it's a nice step because, like I said, we're also going through another phase of, like, just hardships where we're just trying to figure everything out. But there's beauty in a lot of that. Like, there's beauty within the rage, and that's why people probably think I'm a fucking nut. You know, like there's. I don't know. I see music in the chaos. I don't know if it's just you. If it's just me, it's just the way things are for an artist. Like I could be surrounded by the most absolute chaos, and I'll see nothing but rainbows and sunshines and hear nothing but music. It'll just be the strangest thing because then my brain is actively downloading myself, my surroundings, and I'm able to now tell a story. And where we're at now, we have, man, I don't know how much I'm supposed to talk about the new album, but fuck it. We have a concept that I think is going to really solidify this next chapter, and we're starting it with The Martyrs, which is going to be the first track on our new album, where what happens if the fears of what you think persecute you embodied itself and is actually now coming after you. And we're trying to tell this story by I've taken a lot of good inspiration from 21 Pilots, and I want to tell a story using real kind of footage of bands doing band things like music videos and stuff like that, but also adding little mini cinematic movies, little mini storytelling pieces that are just there, just a few seconds enough just to tell enough to get you to ask a question or to answer a question. And what we're doing with our music video that's coming up is we want to give the feeling like we have to go off grid, and we're going to change our whole design in the music video. We'll be going off grid and we're going to be going offline. And I'm heavily considering making the page look like it's completely inoperable. But the only video that's up is the music video that shows that we went underground. And then all that will be answered when we announce the release of our album, which will be followed by another music video and a few more teasers that tell the story of what's going on. And the climax, the amazing climax that I'm really excited to tell people and for them to see is if the martyr gets us or if we're able to defeat it. And that's when the album is out, and that'll be the Time Bomb, which is the last track of the album, and people get to see the end, the beginning of the end as it all happens in its entirety. And I'm hoping that this phase leads to a cycle, so that way I could keep telling a bigger story, because I know that bands and entertainment now, people love it when a band has a gimmick. And sometimes it's hard to do a gimmick on stage. Like, not everybody can do President, Sleep Token, and Ghost and just go up and make a character. I know for a fact that I'm a good storyteller. You know for a fact Seth is a great storyteller, and he has all those vlogs that just has those little comedic things in there. And I feel like, what if we were able to string viewers as if they were watching a band on Netflix? But with that Netflix spin that there's like another story going on. And just recently I finished watching Breaking Bad for actually the first time of my life. I've never seen the whole show all the way through.
I've seen like 4 times.
And the one thing that I love about it is just how the cinematography looks like you're actually there, but the story is, they drag the story on just enough to where you don't get bored, but you get invested. Like, it starts out with something boring, like Walt putting the rice in behind the fucking outlet, and it ends with the bitch getting drugged up from the rice and you thought was never going to be found in a house that's all abandoned. That's kind of what I wanted. I want us to escape the entity that's coming after us, but not really escape what's coming after us, because nobody really escapes that mentality. They can escape the persecutor, but they'll never escape the mentality.
Yeah, no, dude, I'm actually excited to see this tomorrow, because I love live music, so Like I love live music. It's locals here, and it's a vibe too. Like Saturday, day drinking, fuck yeah, watching a band. You know what I'm saying?
Like, yeah.
I'm gonna go out there with drink, listen to good music. It's like hell yeah, dude. Where do we leave off?
I was just talking about how the last album was gonna go in, but we're just basically closing shit out now.
And then you guys performing tomorrow?
Yeah. Now, we're an hour and a half. Like I was mentioning, that shit's gonna tire me the fuck out, dude.
How's your usual sets like?
Well, we do like 45. Nino's is 3 hours, but we take breaks in between.
Yeah, because that's
we do like an hour, 10, then break, then.
Do you guys perform there quite often? Or is
a couple like almost.
I think twice I heard you guys.
A few weekends, I think twice every month or like once a month or some shit like that.
That's cool though. That's like it's like staple, like
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring up Prince because I'm a big Prince fan, but he started with First Avenue and in Minneapolis. That's like a little small club there that he started, or kind of like that was his staple. That he would go there even when he was famous. He would still perform there once a month, once a good while. He would still like go even in his later years. Like, dude, that's pretty cool. Like, kind of where you started, kind of like your staple. Like, you go even 10 years, 20 years from now. It's kind of like a little, a little core memory of the group, of the band. But that's cool. You guys doing that,
Yeah, he's the. I like doing Nino's. Well, how do I put this? It's fun to do Nino's because the crowd is always like, like unpredictable. But then, that's another reason why it's like to do Nino's, because sometimes it is that unpredictable. It's hit and miss sometimes too, okay. And it's just like a lot of the venues that we used to perform for that help us with our income. They're one of them. I think it's like 108. They don't even allow local bands or something like that. They just want to book bands that I think they had I don't even know what band they had anymore. But there was just a band that used to tour, and then they had them in there. I'm not sure if you've been to the 108 in Riverbank, where it's like a tiny little pub house, but
yeah, I've been there once.
But aside from that, then we went to Persuasion. I don't know what the deal with Persuasion is right now. We're probably going to have to get back to them soon. But Nino's is the one that we're kind of like frequent
performers.
Because when we're not doing a show in Modesto, we're at a venue. Yeah. Like we're at the Goldfield, or we're at the Boardwalk, or we're doing something else, or we're in a different city, or we're in a different area, and I like that. Like I remember, I just used to only do gigs in Modesto, and now I can say I've done gigs all across California. That's crazy.
That's cool though. Like, and plus your music goes out there too in a way, like kind of like
you could see it. You could see it branching out like a tree. Like it's strange because then when I go to Sacramento, there's times where I've gone to Sacramento and I've just gone passing through. My lady used to live in Yuba City, so I used to commute a lot back and forth between here and Yuba City, and I would stop in Sacramento and Arden, just fuck around, do DoorDash, or go to Guitar Center. And I get people that recognize me from the Goldfield show, or the Boardwalk show, or me doing shows at Self Design's Art Gallery, which, if you're watching. I do a lot of like open mics and a lot of showcases out there in Sacramento, so a lot of people in Sacramento recognize me.
Right.
And it's cool because it's helped out when we go to Goldfield. There's a lot of people that have come. When we did our last show at the Goldfield, I was shocked with how many people showed up for us because there was people that went out there, and they were there for Motley too. Yeah. But then there was a lot of people that recognized us and that were coming out. And then after our set, there was a lot of people that were like, "You guys are fucking crazy. You guys are the best thing I've heard all night." And we're like, "That's so cool." That's so fucking dope to do and finally achieve to go from like
just Modesto to
from going from the rickety black Yamaha to a fucking Stratocaster.
Yeah.
Just and going from what is it, the lane, the phone lane and the fucking Home Depot all the way to the Whiskey A Go Go.
Yeah.
And I never thought it was gonna work out that way.
Is there any places like, or cities or states or even countries that you would like to go and perform?
Sweden.
Where?
Sweden.
Okay. Why?
The people I've heard that are in Sweden are just very accepting of all art and all culture of all sorts, and I get it. A lot of people want to do like the UK. UK would be one, yeah, because people would eat us up. But I want my music to be enjoyed by ears, by people that want to just take it in for the art that it is, not for the value that it contains, but for the spiritual and emotional vitamins that it gives you. Because music is energy. Music is its own spirit, and we, as musicians and music appreciators, have the ability to alchemize it and use it.
Yeah. Sweden's cool. I mean, I didn't expect that answer, to be honest.
Sweden, or like...
I didn't even know that they were like... I know they're cool, because I know they have Eurovision and cool shit. I don't know if that's even the right country. I don't know. Fucking, I don't... But I'm just saying, like, I know, like, I heard that place is pretty... Like, the people are really nice, really chill. They vibe with...
They're innovative.
That's what I heard, yeah.
And then secondary, was we London, the UK.
Yeah.
Because... well, if Ozzy's taught us anything, that's where real dreams are.
Yeah.
That's where real dreams go to become true, you know, like...
Yeah.
It would be... I know Seth said he wanted to really play in Brazil. He really wants to see his cultural side. I would love to play Rome or in Italy.
Right, Italy would be cool.
I know it'll never happen, but they want to do Madison Square Garden. I want to rock the Vatican.
Yeah.
I want to rock the Vatican, bro. Like, you know how crazy that would fucking be?
That would,
No band has ever done it before.
Yeah. What would your set list be like?
Oh my god. Whatever our banger songs are at that point, because I don't know. It would be amazing. They want to do... if there's a realistic dream venue that I would want to play at, I would love to do a show at the Sphere. But I would want to be hopefully established to the point where I can create an experience to be done in that area. Like, I don't know. My whole thing has always been wanting to keep the crowd a part of the show. Yeah. And that'll never change. Yeah. For as long as I have involvement in the group or for wherever I go, I will always make a show. Crowd invested. Like, when you come out to the show on Saturday, you'll see me talking to the fans, trying to get involved with them, trying to interact with them. Yeah. It's just a huge staple. Yeah. I know more along the lines of, aside from wanting like a favorite venue, I was always wanting to play. I've always wanted to create a show for a children's hospital. And I've always wanted to create a showcase to where a long time ago, and I think 2004, Adam Gonche was playing a show in Sioux Falls, and one of the fans couldn't make it because he was going through a transplant that was killing a young fan, and he decided to go to the hospital to perform for the fan. Yeah. Long story short, when the fan passed away, Adam had donated X amount of money and was present because his story impacted him. I want to be able to provide an experience, even if it's just setting up a stage in a parking lot of a children's hospital, having them open up the windows to the rooms and having the kids watch from their hospital rooms. Yeah. I want to bring that experience because everybody deserves a chance to hear something that can inspire them. Yeah. And I don't think there would ever be a price on that. I'd do that for free. Yeah. If they offered me the opportunity to do it, I would do it for free. Yeah. There's no price on wanting to make somebody's life happen. Yeah.
Especially with music, like how much music brings, how much joy it brings to people. Like music, you know, and music makes people days. You know, it's part of their like soundtrack of their life. You know, music. You know, everybody has a soundtrack to their life. So I feel like that's one thing with people, like with music. A lot of people can connect. You know, especially with hard times. You know,
I think music is the only controversial thing people are willing to withstand. Yeah. Because it's always going to counteract itself. It's always going to contradict itself, but it's always going to make sense. Yeah. Like, there's songs about XYZ, 1, 2, 3, ABC, everything. Yeah. And I'm not part of the book, but I am part of the saga. Yeah. And wherever I land in the series, I'm going to want the people that I'm with to have that mark to be proud of. That I may not... Who knows if I ever make the chance to make music history on a global scale, but even if it's just a small scale, as of right now, I'm okay and I'm happy with what I've done.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's many people out there that are at this level that can say that. They always say that they want more.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it because as long as I'm working where I'm comfortable, I'm just gonna get everything.
Yeah.
You know, it just happens because you're genuine to it.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't happen to somebody that just wants it to want it.
Yeah. And like you said earlier too, like with your like I remember Seth mentioned too that like everybody in your band brings a certain different inspiration. I know we talked about that a little bit earlier, how one person brings kind of like this look, and that person brings kind of like Seth, it brings kind of like of that 80s knowledge, 80s kind of like inspiration. Because you said you weren't really aware of it, other people probably weren't, and he brings that. So like, do you like what like how do you even like mix all that into the music that you guys make? You know, like everybody's inspiration, everybody brings a little of their own taste, you know, like do you mix that or how? I mean, you guys the one that makes the music, you know.
I've been fortunate and also unfortunate enough to see everybody's highs and lows because I write from the heart, like I was mentioning.
Yeah.
And I think being able to mix all of it is going to really, our second album is what really is going to give that because hearing to what we have now that's released, you don't hear it. I'm just to say that right now, you don't hear it. But what we're having right now, I'm getting like antsy because I wish I could just pull up the Martyrs raw takes that we took and show. Because it sounds, just from the music alone, before anybody starts singing, you're able to hear it that it's a new chapter, something new. So I write all these new songs from the heart. As if I was them walking in their footsteps. There's a song that I wrote that Brielle sings called Below the Surface. And it's written from her perspective of basically meeting the impossible goal, which is changing a standard of yourself that doesn't exist, but you've convinced yourself exists and you can change, which is making you likable to somebody else or something else. Then we have Torn in Two, where you're willing to go to extreme lengths to save something that is unsavable. And because of that, it messes you up to the point of no return. But then Seth's song Bitter, which is basically like understanding how stupid you were to allow somebody of so little capacity to fuck with you. We have Time Bomb, which is you accepting and understanding that now you have the capability to end it all and to finish the cycle that is being started upon you and not being afraid to let it go. And I don't want to give away too many songs. If I go on this whole track list now, it's gonna spoil the meat that's coming.
The meat, yeah.
But I'm very confident that this next season that we're going into is gonna be something big, and locally unseen. Because I don't know anybody else in the local area that is doing something close to what we're about to do. And if they do, good on you, because coming from somebody that's doing it, it's hard work. It's fucking hard work. And if you manage to do it, then I applaud you. Even if you're one of my rivals, I fucking applaud you. Good on you. You own that.
Are there rivals in the like the music thing? Like with other bands, or is it mostly love, you know?
We've already been past the whole rival shit. If there's any other rivals, and they're stuck in their ass, you know. Just in the music scene, I think everybody forgets that you're all in it for the same goal. I was around the local music scene long enough to see that once the venue started paying top dollar, that was enough to fuck it all up. And everybody started fighting each other, and then I'm thankful I won a mama, but I've been around to see how much the mamas have fucked people up. Like I've seen it year after year after year. Friends turn enemies just because they want a fancy award. Like if you're watching this and you're trying to go after an award, don't do it for the fucking award. Do it for yourself, because you'll get awarded with something even better than a piece of fucking metal. You'll get awarded with a lifetime of experiences, or there's no trophy to somebody coming up to you telling you that your music changed or saved their life or even stopped them from ending their life that night. Like, we've all been approached. And that's the whole reason why we're continuing, why we even want to do the second album, why we're telling the story that we're telling, because there's reality behind this.
Yeah.
Man, there's so much I want to say about the second album that I know.
We're just gonna have to hold it off for the premiere. We gotta do like a premiere podcast.
I'll probably just quote myself on this now that I'll come on here 2 days or 3 days before we drop the album. I'll just say everything. Yeah. I'll talk about the whole album. I'll even see if I can get a copy of it. Yeah. And me and Seth will come in here and we'll just listen to it, and then we'll talk about every song after the song is over. Yeah. And then you'll just release that the day of.
We could actually have it like a track by track type.
You know what, Seth? We're gonna actually do that. Yeah, we're gonna come in here with a copy of the CD. We'll listen to the whole thing, and then after the song is done, we'll talk about the song, then move on to the next, then talk about that, and you'll be the guy that does it for us.
Yeah, I'm down.
That'll be we'll do a night of that. That'll be fucking amazing.
It's like its own special, you know?
Yeah,
we could do that, bro. But yeah, man, is there anything you want to say? Any last, words, any shout outs, whatever you want to... Mike is yours.
I just want to thank anybody that has supported me. And I know that sounds cliche, because everybody thanks somebody. Everybody has a family member or a loved one they want to thank. I want to thank, first off, my lovely partner and my amazing friends. But aside from them, I want to thank the energy that it has taken from each and every single one of the supporters that has kept up with the story. And not like the story that we're telling as a band, but the story that we're telling as human beings, that no matter where you are in your walk of life, there's always a possibility to step outside of your comfort zone and do something amazing. And we went from wanting to do one show for a plaza gig into being where we are now. And I don't even know where the fuck that is. We're just somewhere, though. We're not where we were.
Yeah.
And I think it's a staple, and it should be a call to arms for everybody that's a creative person, that now's a great time to just do it. Don't know what the fuck it is. If you want to be a photographer, do it. You want to be a podcaster, do it. You want to be a musician, do it. You want to make a mark, then now is a good time to do it. And don't think about if it'll last. Just think about making it happen, because it'll last if you think about it like that.
Yeah. Amen, brother. But yeah, man, I can't wait to watch you guys tomorrow. Can't wait for what's next for you guys as a band and as an individual too, man. Can't wait for that special, when you and Seth come in, or the whole band, whatever, we'll make it happen. We'll do a whole special about it. I would love to promote you guys and the EP, so you're coming in as in like the marketing guy. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I got you guys, man. But yeah, thanks, bro.
Dope.
Thanks for being on the show, man.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait for many more collabs, many more episodes, man. But yeah,
it's going to be a dope one.
Yeah, but yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks
for coming, brother. Peace.